Welcome back to the Down the Middle podcast. Big episode this week off the back of having to do all the heavy lifting last week.
Yep.
I've got my mate with me. How are you, H Moore?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, week's rest. Got the bye. I had the bye last week. Back in.
Yeah, the bye
Ready
week.
to go. Yep. Shane got cut. I have the bye. He got cut.
And we brought up one of our reserve graders.
Yep.
In Hayden.
Big shout out.
Stepped up to the plate
last week. He did.
Thank you again, Bade. That was really good.
Yep. And he did really good. So message him there Friday morning. Said, mate, good job. Very much welcome back. Or even new people, send your resumes in. We'll see how you go.
That's
you
it.
know,
send in an expression of interest
or something like that, and
yes, maybe we might have to do it. Yeah, you might have to send in for a run. That's okay.
Definitely.
But no, Bades was good. Thanks, Bades.
May get the video next time. Put him on get his shocking head in there.
He didn't. He wanted to remain a little bit mysterious to the listeners, I think. Which
fair enough.
That's okay. But yeah, he might need more than just the little outline next time.
Yeah.
How was your week off, mate? Obviously pretty busy last week, were you?
It was good, mate. I had I was at the beer shed at Campbelltown boiling the beer that we made 6 weeks ago. So unfortunately, it got moved back. We were meant to do it when we went to the footy, so I was like, rightio, I'll miss it. And then half the people were missing it, so he pushed it back 2 weeks. So unfortunately,
that's okay.
And look, I've been on pretty much every single episode, so I think I could afford to miss one.
Look, I think you'd only missed one prior, so that's okay. You're allowed to call in favour, and that's why we have our why we have our team around us to step up.
Yeah,
so that's good, mate. Big week, big episode this week. Again, we've got Women's World Cup starting. We've got the Open, which me and you have been waiting for, the Open Championship. NRL obviously this week, but the NRLW kicks off this round, and we've now got the fourth test of the Ashes. So we've got heaps to cover on this episode. Hopefully the battlers. We've been doing some long ones, so hopefully the battlers are ready for another long one. I like the long ones.
It's good. I feel like when people can listen to us for that long, we're doing something right.
And look, no one's whinged yet, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep, I'll take it. Especially looking at our mugs now. No criticism is good. Good news.
I was with a fellow battler over the weekend. Shout out Webbo. He said he loves the YouTube. He loves looking at us.
Probably likes looking at you. Probably doesn't like looking at me. But
look, the other flip side of that was his wife said it is really weird hearing your voice all the time in my house, like my voice. And I went, well, unlucky. So shout out to Mrs. Webb. This one's for you. Let's get straight into Women's World Cup, mate. Recording on a Wednesday night, they kick off. The first game, I'm pretty sure, is New Zealand and I had it. Who is it? New Zealand, Norway.
Yeah, 5 p.m. tomorrow.
First game, Eden Park. It's over in New Zealand. I've touched on this before. Really love the fact that Australia and New Zealand are sharing the World Cup. That's pretty cool. It's obviously, it's definitely going to boost a fair bit of. I'll say, mate, it's going to boost sport for New Zealand, but also we get a heap of sport. Stadium Australia tomorrow night. Also, we've got Australia v Ireland.
Sold out as well.
Sold out. I think the Matildas are really going to look. Every game for the Matildas should be sold out. I haven't gone all the way through where the Matildas games are based, but I'm assuming that they put them in the good spots. How do you want to do this, mate? What do we need? What do we need to look at here? What do we need to share? What do we need to shed light on for the battlers? Do you think?
I think we just probably go through the order
some of the groups.
Table.
Yep.
The groups/tables, and then just pretty much sort of even we just go, you know what, who we'd like to go through, then can't really sort of. There's no format that you can actually pick, and then it puts into people where they actually will be. So we'll just wait until when it gets to knockouts.
Look, I've also got. I'm showing here. I've got some printed out information. I need to give a shout out to one of the young battlers out there from my last school. I've moved schools in recent weeks. One of the young fellas typed up a fair bit of info for me, so I'm using that. Shout out to Daniel. I'm using that tonight to feed our conversations. But yeah, let's go through the groups. What do you reckon?
Yep, sounds good.
So Group A, New Zealand, Norway, Philippines, and Switzerland. Have you got the World Cup rankings there with you?
I do, mate. So, no, New Zealand. So I've only got the top 20, and I feel like that's probably only relevant because I feel like not many.
Look, we've only got 20, 30 odd teams anyway, 32 teams. So yeah, that's fair.
So New Zealand's not in there. They're not in the top 20. But they obviously you get automatic qualification when you're a host of these tournaments.
Yep.
Norway are number 12 in the world. And then the Philippines aren't on the list, and Switzerland number 20. So basing off that sort of information, I don't really know too much about the teams. I would expect probably Norway to finish first, Switzerland second, New Zealand, and then probably the Philippines.
Look, again, using my research, Norway, one of the better teams there when we think about world rankings. I'm looking at their team that they'd sort of announced prior to the World Cup. A lot of players. I'm looking at some of these players: Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City. So they've got a lot of players that are playing in those top tier European competitions, which we know, especially what's the Spanish league called?
La Liga.
La Liga. That's what I'm looking for. Especially Barcelona, they have broken some massive crowd records in the last year or so.
Definitely picked up the last sort of two years.
They've got like 100,000 fans there watching the women's game, which is huge. So obviously, you know, the quality of that football is improving. So looking at Norway with some of those players that are, you know, playing in those competitions, you're going to imagine that they're going to be quite a quality team. Philippines, not much on the Philippines or New Zealand. Look, for the sake of a hosting nation, I really and they're our little mate out there. I'm hoping that New Zealand go okay, but yeah, I'm with you. Probably tipping that Norway are going to advance out of that group. And probably Switzerland, purely on the fact that they're going to have those players that are playing in the European leagues, probably more quality.
Definitely. I think it's New Zealand can probably get a win and a draw maybe. Might spice things up against Switzerland or Norway to try and get a draw. But yeah.
But look, in saying that, look, we watched the friendly.
We
watched the friendly the other night. The Matildas beat France. France are ranked. What are they ranked? 8th or something in the world? Fifth in the world. And we got away with the win from that goal from Mary Fowler. So, you know, anything can happen, and it only takes one or two games, and all of a sudden you're through to the next stage. So,
yep.
Yeah. Group B is the group that we want to focus on. Australia's group: Australia, Canada, Nigeria, and the Republic of Ireland. The Aussie team looked pretty good the other night.
They did, mate. It's good to see. Hopefully, they can obviously go far. It's good, ominous signs that they sort of didn't plateau just sort of before the World Cup. Otherwise, I think there'd probably be a bit more pressure on
I
them if they
think
sort of didn't have a good build up.
a draw or a loss the other night really, I think that would have been really costly. Even a 1-0 win, no matter what team France was playing on the field or no matter, their strategy tactics, I think a win was really vital to start the World Cup campaign off to a give it that little boost.
Definitely. Yeah, so obviously they've got Canada, they're ranked number 7 in the world, so they're the highest ranking in the group. But
Canada's number 7.
Yeah, Canada number 7, and we're number 10. So it's not too much, not too much of a difference.
Look, again, Canada got some players that are playing at Arsenal and Chelsea, Olympique Lyon, those sort of things. But again, USA have got a pretty strong competition happening over there in North America. The Aussie side's pretty good, man.
It is. I think it's probably, even including the I don't know, the 2006 men's side was pretty good. This might be the second best Australian soccer team we've put out in a World Cup.
You know what? If you compare back to that 2006 team for the Socceroos, I think it's got big similarities to that.
All kind of thing, like
obviously this whole team is centered around Sam Kerr. But she's really at prime age. I think she's a little bit older than us. I think she's like 29 or something. She, especially in women's sport, maybe being that little bit older isn't necessarily a bad thing at the moment. I think they're really primed with some people that have been there before. Your Alana Kennedys, your Kai Simons, your Caitlin Fords, but also with some of those younger players. Even like Mary Fowler, who scored the other night. I think she played. Did she play at the last World Cup? No, she'd have to be too young for that. I don't know. Yeah. But like Ellie Carpenter, pretty young. She's played plenty of games. I think they got a good little mix of youth and experience.
Definitely, and for maybe obviously you'd have to go through the squad. It might be the last World Cup for some of these. It might be the last World Cup for Sam Kerr. Unfortunately, you just don't know what It's 4 years is a long time in sport. But hopefully, if it does, hopefully these girls go out there and have a good red hot crack. They're definitely not going to lose the support of the nation. That every game you're going to go to, it should, as you said, should be sold out.
You know what? Again, you think about the makeup of this team, the vibe of this team. They're one of the teams that even if they lose, like if they lose against Ireland, I don't think that's going to affect the fan base.
Yeah, we shouldn't be losing.
Touch wood, but they're a team that we turned on New South Wales the other week because we just did.
It happens every year.
But I think this team's really got the heart of the public. So yeah.
And it would be the same if the men's World Cup was here as well. I think obviously the nation gets around them when we're usually underdog in there. So when we do all right, the whole world sort of stands up and sort of sees. But yeah, I think that group's going to hinge on Australia versus Canada. I think.
Yeah, in that
whatever that way go, like whatever match happens there, I think Australia would probably need to win that.
I think that'll prove that they can get through those knockout stages. If they can get the win against Canada, they probably need to play their best team, really go in hard against Canada, and that'll prove that they can get out of the group stage and through the knockout stage.
Because I think if that game finishes a draw, I think then it'll obviously go down a goal difference, and sometimes you don't know how that's going to go. Sometimes you might not have the best game and only win 1 or 2-0, and Canada might win 4-0 against a Nigeria, and that throw it out.
The only problem I could foresee is the amount of pressure that's on Sam Kerr. I know she's literally the world's best. She's
dealt with that pretty good, obviously being at Chelsea.
But
you got other superstars around you, though. That's sort of
exactly right. I think she is the superstar in the squad, in the team. I
But they
just
haven't
hope.
put too. Well, the media haven't put. I'm surprised the media haven't put too much pressure on them.
Yeah,
I think
it's all
I think
been
the
really
media
positive.
sort of low down a little bit, sort of gone, you know what, let them do their thing, not more
Yeah,
like when it comes to the men's sports, I feel like the media is more like, if you don't win it, you're done.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
other than soccer
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. Yeah, I just hope they can, mate. I'd love to see them in at least the final.
Yeah,
That'd be
it would.
good.
Yeah, and obviously it's it's easy to say that, but then you can't really know until the group stages is done because a big team might come second and they might pop up to Australia in that
Yeah,
quarterfinals or round 16.
yeah,
And it's very hard to pick because you just need one team to slip up and it throws chaos and people like it. We might come to the last game and we go, oh, we'd rather
we'd
draw,
rather
get
lose or
second,
draw to come. Yeah, yeah,
come second. So then if a surprise team sort of goes good, so
yeah,
it's when it comes down to that knockout, then you can sort of figure out what route you're going to be taking to the
yeah.
final. But obviously, it would be good.
We'll see. Um, we got Nigeria and Ireland in there. Look, not a whole lot on those teams. I haven't got much. Ireland's still got a fair few players that obviously are playing in that. They have the advantage of being in Europe. I think any European team, for the Women's World Cup especially, has an advantage where the Men's World Cup is
It's sort of you
potentially
spread it out around a bit,
can
yeah.
spread out a little bit. But I think really the women's, where they're at in women's football, you've got an advantage if you're a European team. Nigeria have got a few players that are playing in Europe and the US from what I can see. Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, Leicester City, those sorts of things. But I'm tipping Nigeria and Ireland to probably come the bottom of the group.
Yeah, no, agree.
Group C, Costa Rica, Japan, Spain, Zambia. Again, one team there, European, Spain. You'd have to imagine that they're probably going to top the group.
Japan could, Spain are 6th in the world, Japan are 11 in the world.
Yeah,
So
true.
they probably sort of breeze through the next couple. Probably expect Japan and Spain to go through.
Spain up there as one of the favourites when we look at the odds market. Currently, I think they're one of the top four teams. The bookies like them. But yeah, Japan.
They always go good in the World Cup. They
Did we
always
play Japan recently? I feel like we
not,
played an Asian team recently. I can't remember.
but but Costa Rica can throw up. As you say, you only need one draw against one of these big teams, and it throws
That's
spin in the
true.
works.
Yeah.
I think Zambia is just look. They've done good to get here, obviously. You have to qualify. You don't just get chucked in.
Zambia, yeah. Zambia
But
is the betting is not with Zambia either.
no, I'd be surprised if they pick up a point.
Yeah.
I hope they do because I don't like seeing making a
Oh,
World Cup
look at
and
you
then
with a
like,
little soft heart. Oh, poor
I know.
Zambia.
Well,
You got to
look,
feel for the littler nations, don't you?
but you can say, you know what? If we make the World Cup, you go, we're one of the best 32 teams or 36 teams in the world.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think Japan and Spain will go through.
Yeah, that's where I'll be looking. Group D, China, Denmark, England, and Haiti. Go Haiti! Look at them. What are they? Are they even in the world rankings? Holy dooly!
Yeah, not quite sure, but you got the powerhouses. Obviously, England. They rank number 4 in the world.
Yeah.
Denmark,
England
13.
probably one of the teams to beat, realistically.
Yes, they're very good, especially with playing in European. I think a lot of their team is pretty much, playing with the big boy clubs all across Europe.
England won the Euros in 2022, as per my research that I didn't do here. Came third in 2015. That was their best result in the World Cup. So I imagine they'd be looking to try and better
There was
that
no
result.
obviously no 2019.
I don't think so. I think maybe that
Was it COVID?
again. I'm going off what's given to me. I've done no research here, so we'll just go with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But still, we know from their world rankings they're one of the best teams in the world, so they'll be looking to try and make.
I think they'll probably clean sweep.
Yeah,
clean sweep the group there. And then I think Denmark should make it through as well.
You're gonna go Denmark? I reckon China might be a sneaky there.
Nah, I think
Okay.
they'll finish. I think we'll go England 9 points, Denmark 6, China 3, Haiti 0.
0. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Group E, we have got Netherlands, Portugal, the US, and Vietnam. The US is the team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
I think if anyone can get a win over the US, that's showing that they're quality. US have got, who's the chick? Alex Morgan. She's pretty much the Sam Kerr of USA.
Definitely.
They're going to be, I think they could take 9 points away from their group stage.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be hard.
Netherlands are ranked 9, but
is Portugal up there on the world rankings?
They're not. No, they're not like the men. Not like the men's side. And then Vietnam. I think it's good to see these groups sort of always got two big dogs in each group. But I do think United States will get the 9 points. Never probably get 6 again.
Well, look, here's something for you. Vietnam, looking at the teams they named for their sort of training camp, a lot of these players look like they're playing in sort of local Asian leagues. A lot of them from the same team, so they're going to have some chemistry.
Okay.
That could be a benefit. A lot of other teams have got heaps of different players from that are playing all across the world. Vietnam look to be majority from about 2 or 3 teams.
You never know. So this group might be.
That could be good.
If you're not careful.
Yeah.
Slip up one.
They might have some sneaky little plays, and so there you go. I'd still be tipping. I'm probably going to go US and probably the Netherlands make it out of that group stage.
Yeah.
Group F: Brazil, France, Jamaica, Panama. Jamaica and Panama too. Again, really small nations. You'd have to imagine Brazil and France probably take the 2 spots out of that group.
Obviously, as we said before, France ranked 5 and Brazil 8. So I think, not too much about that group. I think
2 top 10 teams. You're probably a little bit headless if you're Jamaica and Panama.
I think that one will probably come down to a goal difference. I think maybe Brazil and France might draw, and then whoever can batter these other 2 teams more.
France looked pretty good the other night as well. They had a few chances. They just couldn't convert anything.
But it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading through a couple of the team lists. Group G: Argentina, Italy, South Africa, Sweden. That sounds like a pretty competitive group. What do you got world ranking wise?
Sweden are 3rd. South Africa aren't there. Italy are 16, and Argentina aren't on the list. So this is probably, looking at it, this would be the easiest group so far. We're sort of going by world rankings, not saying it would be easy, but usually we have teams that within maybe 4 or 5 different spots. But definitely being Sweden 3 and Italy number 16. That's a big jump there.
Look, the Swedish team again, some players from some big name European clubs: Bayern Munich, Juventus, Arsenal, Everton, Man City, Chelsea. They have probably got a number of quality players. So
I'd be surprised if Sweden don't collect the 9 points there, and another powerhouse in the competition.
Yeah, definitely. Group H, the last group. You should be going for this group. Colombia, Germany, South Korea, and Morocco.
Yes, mate. Usually in the men's, I go Australia, switch to Germany when it comes to the knockout stages, obviously, because it's nine times out of 10,
They make it through.
They make it through. But yeah, with this one, obviously
What's Germany's world ranking? They're number 2.
Number 2, mate. Number 2.
Man, that's pretty good.
So, and then Colombia are not in here. South Korea are number 17 in the world. Shout out, mate. They're at Campbelltown. Campbelltown Ridges. That is their home base. They train at Campbelltown Stadium.
That was South Korea, wasn't it?
South Korea, yes.
Yeah, nice.
So obviously how they're all based around.
Yeah.
I probably should have looked at their fixtures. So I don't know how far obviously all the other teams would be based at. I
did have that somewhere.
But
keep talking. Let me find that. Keep talking. Let me find that.
Colombia and Morocco aren't in the top 20, as I see. And even just, I think them two teams, Germany will probably top it easy. It's another big gap in between the world rankings. So I would expect Germany to fly through with easy colours there, collecting 9 points. But Morocco was a surprise pack in the Men's World Cup, so maybe the women could take a bit of inspiration from that.
That's right,
and try and replicate, get into the semi-finals. I don't think they would, but I think anything out of the group stage would be very good. And even I was just glancing through there, mate. A couple of the big teams sort of in that top 20 haven't made it. I didn't see Belgium, didn't see Austria, and I didn't see Iceland.
Iceland is up there in the top 20.
In 15, mate. In 15, and yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good on them.
So, yeah, they're the 3 teams that I've seen and sort of haven't made, obviously, through qualification. It's a bit tougher in Europe when you got a couple of good teams in your group and not everyone can make it. But yeah.
Just looking at team base camps.
Yes.
This is research off Wikipedia. Australia is at the Ridges in Brisbane. I thought they were in Melbourne.
Do they have? I think they have 2 bases.
Okay.
I think they have. I think they probably even have 3. They probably have Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney. It's a bit easier for them.
So if we're looking at sort of teams that are based closer to us, Colombia, the Mercure Sydney at Liverpool. So they're playing out of Marconi, or they're training out of Marconi Stadium. So that's probably pretty good for Marconi. I imagine, they might have an opportunity.
They're pushing to get a license for the A-League.
So. Yeah, they're pushing to be one of the next teams. So that's pretty cool. Close to us also, we've got England out of the Crown Plaza Terrigal. So they're training out of Central Coast Stadium. That's pretty good for the Central Coast. Obviously, they've got a team on the Central Coast, so that's pretty cool.
They'd be feeling the weather. It's a bit sunny.
Yeah. Maybe they put them there on purpose. We were too warm for them.
Where's Germany based, mate?
Germany, Mercure Coimbra Waters, so Central Coast Regional Sporting and Recreation Complex.
Okay.
Coimbra Waters. Isn't that?
Is it Newcastle? I don't know.
Maybe it says Central Coast. So I don't know.
What about Morocco, mate? Because
Morocco. Hang on, gotta scroll down to Morocco. Lansmore Mansion Hotel, Werribee Park.
That's Melbourne.
Playing out of Gavin Park Reserve. I don't know. Get your bloody phone up and Google it for me. I've got this going. What did I say? Werribee Park. Werribee Park. Yeah. Werribee Park. Victoria. Oh, there's 2. God damn. Werribee Park at Glen Alpine, New South Wales. Don't think it's at Glen Alpine. That's just down the road. Victoria. South Victoria.
That's right.
No, maybe. I don't Oh no, Melbourne. It says, yep, Melbourne. So then again, if we keep scrolling, anyone else close to us? Ridge is Campbelltown, so they're training out of Campbelltown Sports Stadium. That's pretty cool for South Korea, and yeah, whatever. Lots of teams. Lots of teams actually based over in New Zealand.
Yeah, I know the USA are. I know the USA. They're based over there as well.
Yeah, Softel, Auckland. Yep.
So no, it's good. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Because I know the finals at a core. So then, sort of how it all shifts. Because that's it'd be a pretty big move if it gets to the end of it and they're going to move everything back over to Australia for one game and then bang, shift it all back to America.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
Like just all the gear and stuff like that, just like doing the big moves around.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Especially, like only 2 of those teams are based in Sydney, really. A few on the Central Coast. So out of the group stage, like you don't really want to be.
You know what I mean?
Traveling for your semi-final or your final. Yeah, it's strange. You would have thought maybe that they'd put some of those top teams around it, but to be honest, mate, there's probably no room around Sydney. Like they've gone to Campbelltown, they've gone to Marconi.
Yeah,
there's maybe no real room.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right. Who's your overall tip? Overall tip.
So obviously,
I got the green and gold on. I got the green and gold.
I would love Australia, but I think if Australia don't go well, I think Sweden.
You're gonna go Sweden. Okay.
I'm gonna go Sweden.
Look,
so
I'm going Australia. I honestly reckon they can get it done, but if they can't, I think the USA are probably too strong.
Yeah.
They've already won 4 World Cups. I think if anyone's going to do it, it's probably them.
Yeah.
But I think Australia are a genuine chance to give it a nudge. Hopefully.
I think we are as well. So it will be good to see, especially tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night on 7. On 7. So I think
all the games are on all the games on the app, 7+ app.
Well, I'm looking on the World Cup app. So they've got the television. So New Zealand is on 7+ and 7 May. Australia is on 7+ and 7. If I go to the Friday night games of Nigeria, Canada, it's only Optus Sport. So I can't confirm. I think maybe Australia and New Zealand games are going to get airtime.
Everything else is on.
But then again, look, I look later. Wednesday game, Canada, Republic of Ireland is 7+ and 7. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I think
best bet's probably Optus Sport for all the games, but and then just check your local guides.
I won't be Optus Sporting it after how bad they've been trying to cover world football. But I think we'll get all the Aussie games over the next couple of weeks on Channel 7. So.
And then I would probably say you'd hope all the knockout games would then move to 7.
You'd imagine so because it's obviously then condensed. Really upsetting that the first Australia game is I'm probably going to the footy tomorrow to watch the Dragons smash the Tigers, and they're going to be kicking off at pretty much the same time. I'm going to be that guy in the crowd like this watching the footy and having the soccer.
Soccer probably be more entertaining anyway.
I did see a post from I can't remember who it was. Someone put a post up and they were ranking the games this weekend, and they ranked the Dragons Tigers like 30 out of 100, and that just wrote, "You may as well watch the Matildas on Channel 7." And I was like, probably not wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, anything else to add?
No, mate, go to Matildas.
Go to Matildas. All right, let's move straight over to, as you always call it, probably our favourite sport at the moment. Let's go to golf. We've got the Open Championship.
The 4th major, the last major of the year.
Kicks off tonight.
Tomorrow. 3:35
PM. Yeah.
Great time for us.
What is that televised on? Just Fox.
Yes, Foxtel. Yeah.
God damn. I gotta get back on the KOs. Maybe with my new job, I can afford KO.
Oh, I'll sling you the Foxtel login, mate.
So I'll just watch the highlights.
Okay, no worries. That's, thought I'd do a good deed. Royal Liverpool.
I might bum it off you.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the players. I don't know what you were saying. I was in my own little world there.
I said it's at Royal Liverpool, but that's right. The venue.
Yeah. Where is it? Where is it?
Royal Liverpool Golf Course.
Royal Liverpool. Have they been calling it? What have they been? They've been calling it Hollyoak. Is it Hollyoak? No, it's Royal Liverpool.
It's Royal. It is Royal Liverpool. Yeah.
Royal Liverpool. 151st. Yeah, you're right. 100%. I knew you were right. Let's go. Let's do it.
Exactly right. Purse of 16.5 million. That's a lot. Just going through the lineups. Obviously, what I'm seeing is the tee times.
Yeah.
From it, and sort of the first big name is not until 4:30. Patrick Reed, sort of people call him. I don't know if he's not a big name anymore, but sort of going through them all. Sort of Henrik Stanson, Sink, these boys, the older boys, you know what I mean? So
Hang on, what group is Patrick Reed in? Who's he playing with?
He's playing with Ballester, Biero, and Sim.
Oh, yeah, Connor Syme. Yeah.
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 Playing on the amateurs. Yeah, right.
It's probably likely.
Leicester Barrier.
Bang. Put him in there.
Give him the nuffies, you reckon?
Yeah, easily. You got Louis still, mate. It's a good field. But obviously it should be. But yeah,
go down a little bit further. A good little group. You got Jordan Spieth, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Jason Day. That's a very good group. That's an awesome group.
I like that.
Hey, group straight after that: Taylor Gooch, Padre Carrington, Seamus Power. Again, not a bad group. Taylor Gooch on a really good little form run. Be very interesting to see how he can perform in a major. After he's won 3 times now.
Three, yeah.
That's
3.
You know, I don't want him to win, but I'd love to see him go really well.
It would be, and especially for all the live boys, they need to go well because this is the only time they get rankings. Their ranking points. So most of them sort of need to. Obviously, things could probably change at the start of next live season, depending on what the whole merge. I think, whatever that would play out. But yeah, these boys really obviously need to step up to jump up these ranks. And put a good showing in there to get on the front foot there. And then we sort of. So this is, I've seen this article and I didn't actually even send it to you boys. You've got a group of Hideki Matsuyama, Patrick Cantlay, and Brooks Koepka.
Yeah.
So, and obviously go back to the Masters with Brooksy not very happy with the pace of play.
Yeah.
He's paired with
the slowest bloke.
The 2 slowest. So they've actually gone at
Hideki slow too?
Hideki is slow as well.
Okay.
So they don't know how Brooks is going to sort of perceive it because, he was very vocal of if we go over a certain time because of people, stroke them. Start getting strokes away, and I bet you. So I'm gonna really try and see if I can watch this group closely because I would love to see when Patrick Cantlay's taking a shot. Where is he?
I reckon you might see Brooks.
He might be teeing off, and Patrick's still reading the putt. I feel like
Brooksy will be putting in, and Patrick will be on the tee. Same sort of thing. He'll be a hole ahead. He might be playing up with KH Lee, Davis Riley, and Ty Semikawa. He might be already with the 3 boys in front. Going, hey boys, can I just come up with you guys?
Yeah. So that'll be very interesting to see how that goes. And obviously he's got him for 2 rounds, so he can't just go 1 round flick. Um,
I hope that doesn't rattle him. I hope he
I hope it
can,
does. And that's what I thought as well. I went, oh, have they done this on purpose?
because
Because
I know as very much an amateur. If you're playing with, if you book into a comp and you're playing with a couple of randoms and they are slow, sometimes it's good because you just end up doing your own thing and you're off. And these pros are doing their own thing anyway. Sometimes it's good, but other times you just stand there going, mate, one, find your ball, two, just hit it, and it can really like get to you. So it'll be very interesting to see how Brooksy takes that.
exactly right. Even the next group after that, mate, I really like that group as well. Scotty Scheffler, world number one. Our boy Adam Scott and Tommy Fleetwood.
Who was going okay at the Scottish. Wasn't going too bad.
I'm surprised Adam Scott didn't play the Scottish Open, to tell you the truth. I sort of seen his name, I went, oh, I thought he would have maybe went out there. I know he goes out there and practices a lot on the links, but I thought he would have been, you know.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that just sort of picks and chooses now.
Or he sort of stay away from the DP tour sort of.
Yeah,
You know,
I think he's probably,
it's like the Rolex series kind of like how they're.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't necessarily overly surprised he wasn't there. I think he's probably more of a preparation for the big game.
Go out and play around somewhere else and
Yeah. Whatever.
nah.
Two of your favourites in the next little group there, mate. Cam Smith,
Tell you what, mate,
Xander
I'm
Schauffele.
just looking, and from that 636, it's the 720. It's pretty good back-to-back groups, kind of just
Yeah, I know.
that nice stretch of obviously some of them will be on 1 and 10 for the pace of play, but
No, I think they'll go off.
they all go off one, do they?
I'm assuming so. There's 11 minutes between each. That's heaps of time.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm
Yeah,
just assuming.
Yep. Yeah, mate. Xander Schauffele, my pick last week.
How'd he go?
He didn't. He had a bad first and last round, unfortunately.
Well, who did I pick? The winner. That's right. I picked the winner.
Yeah, 3 hours into the tournament.
I had no idea what the scores were.
Oh, come on. You would have had your phone up going, oh, I want to pick him. I'm going to pick him.
No chance. I didn't do any prep for that one, and I'm sure the battlers could tell.
Yeah, unfortunately, last week Rory won. I would have loved to see Robert McIntyre get a win.
That would have been nice. Cammy Smith, obviously, he's in there at the local time, 9:58 tee-off time with Wyndham Clark and Xander. Do you reckon he can go back-to-back?
Well, he's definitely in the right preparation because obviously he won the latest live tournament.
Yeah, I think he's in good form.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or 3 weeks ago. I don't know. He did pretty good last year. Obviously, it's a bit of a different course from St Andrews to this one. But I think if there's a tournament he can win again, I think it is the Open because it is a bit more wide open. I know the rough's pretty rough, but obviously we've already said in the past his driving isn't the best, but the accuracy, but and the rollout, he hits it pretty good. So I don't know. I hope he does. He's definitely one of my two picks.
I think from watching Cam, he people say Saturday's moving day. Cam needs two good ones in a row so that he can. So he doesn't need a moving day. He needs a steady day on Saturday.
Yeah, he needs to be in that top 3 groups going into round 3 to go. Rightio, I can afford to do a 1 under and be 1 or 2 off the pace. I don't want him to be like 7 off the pace.
I think he needs a nerve settler on Saturday before he goes.
Obviously, we've seen last year in round 4, he was losing by 2 shots. I think.
Yeah,
I think Rory had the lead by 2 shots, and he won it. So I definitely agree with you that he needs the first 2 good rounds, put himself in a good position so he doesn't have to have, as you say, moving day.
And I don't mind if he has to chase on Sunday. I think he can do that, like you just said. I think he can chase on Sunday, but if he's chasing on Saturday, I
You got
think
nothing
that's
to
where
lose.
he comes undone.
You got everything to lose on the third day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because,
They'll either put you in or out of contention. So be
yeah,
interesting to see how he goes. Two decent guys, so that might help him playing the first two rounds. Couple other key groups. Oh, battery's running low. That's not good. I might have to duck out and get a battery. Ricky Fowler or Shane Lowry in the next one. Who else? Your boy Bryson, Siwoo Kim and Cam Young.
then it takes a
And
bit of a hit.
then it sort of quietens down. They've really got most of the good players there in the middle section.
Alex Fitzpatrick, mate, 836. Obviously, Matt's brother.
Oh, is it? Yeah, right.
Won a qualifying or came second in the qualifying to
To
get
get a
it.
go. Yeah, right.
Get a go, yeah. So very well done to him.
Geez, there's a lot of players. There's heaps of groups. There's 52 groups. Jeez.
And then sort of it keeps sort of taking a bit of a dip. It is good to see Minwoo Lee play with a fellow Aussie, Crow, H Crow. I'm not.
Harrison.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, Harrison.
Yeah. So it's good to see that.
I just scrolled right down to the last group. The last tee-off time is 4:16 p.m. local time.
So
they've got like
16 a.m.
and it starts at 3:30 p.m. coverage our time. Hey, keep telling the battlers who you're going for. I'm going to get a charger. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep, no worries. Well, might as well go through our tips. I'm gonna actually have 3 sneaky bets this weekend. I will be putting some money on Cam Smith to go back to back. He's currently at $15. As we said, he won the last live tournament. Good stead. He's done a couple of practice rounds out there as well. Then I'm also my second pick is going to be the world number 2, John Rahm. He had a very quiet Scottish Open last week, but you can never sort of back him out. If he has a good first couple of rounds, I think he'll definitely improve and be right there on the Saturday and Sunday. And then I'm going to have a little sneaky play at a top 10. And I might go, looking at it, I might go Adam Scott for a top 10 finish. He always goes not too bad in the majors. And that's surprisingly paying $6.50 for a top 10.
I don't mind that. Adam Scott, top 10.
Top 10, yeah. So I don't know if you heard. I had
you got Johnny Rahm.
Yeah. And Cam Smith, one of them to win, and then Adam Scott top 10.
Can you actually get that on like Sportsbet? Can you get like each way? 10? No, like either player to go top 10. They might have a market for that. Because they're doing that now with like try scorers. You can pick two to either.
Yeah, player A and player B. No, they don't. Even when I tried to even do a couple of players in like top 20. They're all single bets, no.
Yeah.
Same game multi kind of.
Yeah.
Like same multi.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're my 3 sort of lays I'm going to be having this week, mate.
If I'm putting a bet on, I'm going to go. I really, this is a hard bet. I want Cam Smith to go back to back, so I want him to win. Yep. But I'm thinking,
so it's nice money. Him and Rahm are 15 each.
Are they the best? No, who's the best? Who's the lowest?
Rory and Scotty at $8.50.
Okay, so I am probably thinking that the safe bet would be a Rory top 10. I think, unfortunately, I know you hate him, but unfortunately, coming off a win at the Scottish, that's going to have similar conditions, blah, blah, blah. I think he's probably in good stead. And, you know, he's an Irishman, so you just know, he just knows how to play those sorts of courses. So I'm probably thinking he's going to go well. I reckon the sneaky, just need to double check. I'm sure I saw his name there. I reckon the sneaky might be. Oh, hang on. Just tell me. Dustin Johnson is in this field, isn't he?
Yep, $34.
Okay, I'm thinking Dustin, or a Victor Hovland, who is in pretty good form at the moment.
Yeah, he had it up and down Scottish Open.
Yeah, not a good form for a win, but I reckon those two blokes for a top 5.
Yeah, and I'm going to put the question out. Yeah, out of the top 20 players, or maybe not even top 20, who do you reckon is going to miss a cut? I want a one player from each of us that we think is going to miss the cut. Put him on the spot here.
Colin Morikawa, an open winner, and he's going to miss the cut.
2 years.
And he's going to miss the cut. There you go. You've heard it here first, battlers. He will miss the cut.
I'm going Justin Thomas.
Oh yeah, JT's due again.
He missed the cut in the last one. So
the bloke loves 2 rounds of golf.
Yeah, I love it. I love him as a golfer, but 2023
is not his year.
It's just not his year. Yeah, so we'll definitely keep everyone updated. After each round, obviously, we'll put up a little leaderboard.
Yeah,
leaderboard of it. Hopefully, Cam Smith is always going to be in that picture.
That's why we got the green and gold on tonight, baby. Mate, let's bring it back a little bit local. Let's bring it back to the NRL. Do we want to go over last round's scores?
We'll just
I'm gonna do the scores. We're not going to talk about the games.
Yeah.
Friday the night smashed the Tigers. That was good to see. Saturday the Broncos smashed the Doggies. That was expected. Cowboys dusted the Eagles. Sorry, pretty convincingly. The Storm dusted the Roosters. Shout out to the Roosters supporters. Unlucky, mate. The Sunday game. This was dismal. Warriors got your Sharks. We can discuss one game.
Rightly so. They were pretty pathetic. But we do have proof. I said I might go. I think the Warriors will win before the game was kicked off. I just don't know. We don't have a good record against top 8 teams, but
a lot of the tipsters in our tipping comp went the Sharks. Top 8 all went Sharks.
Most of the boys got 6. 6
and
of
the Sharks cost us. Yeah, that hurt me.
Definitely.
I think Bades was talking that he liked the Warriors last week, but he didn't tip him.
He got sidetracked of time, and I said to him, what a shame, sort of with a bit of a grin when I said it to him,
because he didn't get 1 point further away.
Yeah, exactly, and then it would have been 3. Then he would have got 2.
Bang. Yes, true. Panthers dusted the Dolphins. That was right, and the Eels just got away with a win against the Titans. The Titans are just hanging on to being a pretty good side. They're just shy of converting some of these sort of close games into wins, especially against a decent side like the Eels. Very lucky, and the Dragons very lucky to get away with the 2 points, as were the Raiders and the Rabbitohs. We look to this round 21 of the NRL and round 1 of the NRLW. Go.
Yeah. Before, I just wanted to have a special. I'm very glad that you will be attending the Spoon Bowl tomorrow night, mate. Obviously, with kicking off the rounds with the Dragons versus the Tigers, it is officially the Spoon Bowl. Whoever loses this will get the spoon.
I've got confirmation that friend of the show and avid listener Kyle Taylor is going to attend with me as well. So you best believe there will be some content hitting the socials, and there will be a quiet ride home for one person, I think. Probably him, I'm hoping. Talk us through this week of footy.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, we said the Spoon Bowl tomorrow night, Dragons versus Tigers. I think Dragons get it done. Sloane's back. Jack Bird, Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt.
I know Appy improves the Tiger side, but he won't improve them that much. Yeah, Dragons, not too much else to say because there's not many good things to say about the two teams.
Still got a problem with Moses Mbye being in that team. Ugh.
That's only because Sullivan's injured.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only reason why he's there. So,
I
yeah.
still don't like it. That's still gross. But anyway, look.
First game Friday. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the Dragons are paying $1.58, which is remarkable because I don't think they should be paying that short. But I will be tipping the Dragons.
Yeah, I think majority of people will, except for probably Kyle. First game Friday night, mate. Warriors versus Canberra over in Go Media Stadium. I'm not quite sure whereabouts that is in. I think Auckland.
Yeah.
Warriors are flying, mate. There's a lot of people thinking they can finish top 2. I don't think they will.
Nah.
But I do expect the Raiders are going to give them. I think I do like the Raiders at $2.96. But with the way the Warriors won last week, I'll be tipping the Warriors.
Look, I historically have always said the Warriors at home, the Warriors at home. And then last week I went, no, you know what? Stuff the Warriors at home. Like I don't feel that makes enough of a difference this year. Warriors at home, 100%. I'm gonna do a total backflip on last week. Warriors at home. Raiders, like you said, been playing really well. The week off, they're fresh, but the Warriors were damn good last week.
They did. And then the second game, the Friday night, South Sydney versus Brisbane. I think this was probably match of the round or game of the round. Latrell, Campbell, Graham back.
Have you looked at this on the NRL app? These people here that are in for the Rabbitohs, if you just had them on a footy field, Murray, Graham, Walker, Cook, James Sele, Jacob Host, Jai Arrow, Jed Cartwright, Kean Kolongamutangi, Latrell Mitchell, if you just had any of them in a team, you'd be like, geez, that's a good footy team. So
yeah,
they've got so many people coming back in for them.
Yeah, it is a good game. Obviously, Payne Haas coming back from injury. Again, after being rested last week. Reynolds does have a little bit of a niggle injury, but they said he will play. And
Reece Walsh is back as well.
After his 3-game suspension. I'm going to pick South Sydney only because it's in Sydney. I think that's obviously doesn't really factor.
Not Sunshine Coast. Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast. So I'm still going to take South.
that changes. Why are they playing in Sunshine Coast and it's a Rabbitohs home game? Jeez, that's dumb. I hate that stuff.
If you're going to take it out to like Dubbo or something like that. Take it out somewhere in New South Wales, regional New South Wales somewhere.
There's a lot of people back for the Rabbitohs. I think I have to lean towards the Rabbitohs, but they need to win more than Broncos do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Then moving on, the first game is Saturday, one of the first of the triple headers, Titans versus the Roosters. I think Titans are pretty good at $2.16. I really like them. The Roosters, mate, the 30-16 scoreline flooded the Roosters last week. They scored 2 tries in the last 5 minutes.
They're not that good.
I can't be bagging side because my team's crap, but they're pretty shit. They're pretty shit. Like the Roosters are.
My team is shit, so I can say whatever I want about any other team.
I back it up. I said about a month ago, Trent Robinson isn't this super coach. He's been hidden behind the players, and it's finally the players aren't standing up to playing, and they're coming 14th, mate. I don't remember the last time the Roosters were this low in the ladder.
Well, it would be probably like pre-2015, because they've been commanding the comp for a little while now. Look, I'm with you that side on paper has so many. I'm not going to say superstars. It has so many good players that could play representative football. and that do play representative football, whether that be for a state or a nation, and they are not getting the results, you have to think that it is coming down to the motivation they're getting from their coach or the game plan they're getting from the coach. It's not there. I am absolutely going to tip the Titans at Seabus.
Yeah, I agree. And the second one up at Newcastle with the Newcastle Knights versus Melbourne Storm. I know as much as Newcastle was going in good form, I think Melbourne would probably be a class above. They showed that last week. I think Melbourne won to 12, but I don't think it will be quite. It won't be a tightly matched. I think they might be winning by 18, and then Newcastle get one late again, and sort of bring it back.
I like the style of footy that the Knights have been playing when they're winning. I don't like the style of footy they've been, because they've had a fair few losses. When they're going good, I like the way they're playing, but I think Melbourne, especially after their win last week up in Sydney, I think they'll probably go again. They'll probably get the win. I'm going Storm. I'm going Storm.
Then the last game of the night, Cowboys versus Parramatta, is a pretty good game. Another good game, probably the second game of the round. Cowboys are flying. I think that's 5 in a row, or 5 or 6 in a row. I'm not quite sure. I am backing the Cowboys in this one as well. If it was down in Sydney, I might switch to Parramatta, but being up in Townsville, I think they're pretty hard to beat up there.
I think this one could be the upset. Cowboys have been a little bit hit and miss. I think if they were going to lose to a team, it could be the Eels. Does that make me tip the Eels? Not yet, but I certainly think this is the game that comes Saturday afternoon. I go flip. I will
definitely. You've got to wait and see how everyone's doing. Yeah. If someone, if one of the us being up the top of the tipping, if Bades has got one up on us, you might have to try and pull a Swifty and get one back.
I'll be going Cowboys, because I reckon Bades might tip Cowboys, but also, like I said, that could be a late switch to the Eels, just because I'll be feeling something. I'll be getting a bit excited. So, maybe.
Ooh.
Are you right, buddy?
First game, sorry. First game is Sunday, Penrith Panthers versus Dogs. 13 plus Penrith. Taking Cleary back.
Yeah, Penrith. The Dogs are just sorting stuff out, and it's taking a long time.
But we put that line up.
Dogs paying $11, so that's a Shane Austin bet. He'll get on the Dogs.
He will. He loves the Dogs. He loves the Tigers and Dogs at anything over 10.
Anything over 10, he literally does.
What do you think the line is, mate? I've got the line here. What do you think they would?
The line that Sportsbet will be giving, the line, would it be 21.5? Or is it not that
27.5.
What? No.
27.5, mate. 27.
Holy dude. I thought 21 was going a little bit too far. Holy dude.
That's what I was like, 13 plus. I'm like, 20? Like, yeah. I might hop on at $8 money. I don't mind it.
No, I don't like that many points. That's too many points for me.
Fair enough.
That's a lot. Yeah. Anyway.
And then the last game of the round, mate, my Sharkies versus the Manly Seagulls at points bet.
Some big changes.
They're a bit short. We're paying $1.30. The good thing is, and I probably did fall off my chair when I seen the team list Tuesday, and he actually made the changes that we needed. We made 3 changes. One of them forced with Teague Wilton out for a couple of weeks, unfortunately with a leg injury. But then, rightfully so, dropping Matt Moylan and Wade Graham. Wade Graham came onto that left edge when Wilton got injured. And
how many tries did he leak? 3?
Between them, I think they leaked 4 or 5.
4, yeah.
Then you put Talakai in there, probably 6. And he's been shifted back to the bench with Tracy coming into the centres and Trindle coming into the 5'8".
So will Talakai play a second row role?
He would probably come onto the second row, yeah.
Do you think he's just better suited to second row?
I think he could start. I think they might push Coughlin back. He's starting second row. I think they might push him back to the bench and maybe start Talakai. But
Talakai's a second rower, isn't he? He's not a centre.
So looking at this team, the only change I would make is obviously Wilton in for Coughlin. But yeah, other than that, I really, really like this team.
Matt Moylan. This is about the 50th time he's been dropped from an NRL squad.
Him and Graham, I don't want to see him. They can play for Newtown for the rest of the year. Even if we lose this game, I want to stick with Trindle. It's so
when Wade Graham plays, is he captain?
No, Nico. Nico is the vice captain.
And Dale's captain when he's playing.
Dale Finucane's captain, yeah.
Okay.
And then leaving the Dolphins on the bye.
So you're tipping your Sharks?
Oh, sorry, yes. I'm tipping my Sharks, yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if we lose.
Are you going to go out to that game? Points bet, 4:00?
No, mate. I got first week of penance this week, actually.
Oh, he's going out to the coast.
The coast, mate. Going over to the Windy City.
Brian tells me that he might have to be the manager.
He's the captain.
Oh, he's the captain, is he?
He's the captain, yes.
Well. He hadn't told me that. I wonder when that phone call's coming. I am going to go the Sharks. I think they need to win after last week.
Definitely.
That's that.
Mate, do you have the draw for the women's? Because from the app that I'm looking at.
Yes, I've got it.
So have it.
We've got 10 teams this year, just to refresh for everyone. 10 teams this year. So the Cows, the Tigers, the Raiders, and the Sharks come into the competition. Kicking off 2023 is the Titans and the Cowboys up at Seabus on Saturday. So does that mean they play the same?
I think they've.
Yep. So they're going to open. They're going to open for the Titans games because the women are playing at 12:50. Look, mate, I've sort of half looked through a number of the teams. There's been so much change.
Yeah.
Because there are 4 extra teams, a lot of players have moved. Some players have pledged their allegiance to their teams that they've been with.
And this is the first year that's been multi-contracts as well.
Right.
It's been 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. Now with the CBA,
So some of the women have signed 2, 3, 4, 5 year contracts.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's going to be hard to pick some winners. I watched and looked at a few of the trial results from the other week, and as with any trial, it's hard to take too much from it.
Exactly, because they're giving some of the younger girls to go to see if they can jump up.
Yeah, I think they've got they don't have a top 30. They've got like a top 26 or something. Regardless, look, some of the teams you were like, yep, they'll win, and they did. Other teams you're like, they only just won. So I don't know. Look, there are some key players across a few of these teams. The first game's Titans Cowboys. Look, I'm tipping that the Titans will probably win. The Cowboys have got some decent players, but
they're both 2-knee teams. So I think this one for me is sort of a bit of a watch.
Titans not a new team.
Oh, Titans aren't a new team.
No, they've been playing for a little while.
Okay.
And they got some good players. Jamie Chapman in the centers. Talia Fumayona goes from the Dragons. She's a pretty good little half. Charlie Bent in the second row comes from the Dragons. She's played a bit of rep footy as well. I'm tipping the Titans at home. I think they'll be getting up, especially in the lead up to the men's game. Afterwards, they might get a fair few fans there.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I'll go Titans as well.
The second game will be the lead up to the men's Knights game. So we've got Knights Dragons at McDonald Jones. The Knights will smash the Dragons.
I was going to say the Dragons. Dragons have been up the top there for the first couple of years, but now they've been poached.
Yeah. So Jamie Soward has lost all his representative players. Great, my NRL app is just bumming on me. Jamie Soward's pretty much lost all his rep players. He's only really brought in Racine McGregor, who did win the Dally M last year, so she's good.
She come
But
from the Roosters. She was Roosters, wasn't she?
uh,
She Parramatta.
no, she's that's
Good
that's
question.
that's lost me. Don't know, don't know. Couldn't tell you. Don't know where she come from. Didn't look that far.
Yeah. A Newcastle, a new team.
No, no. They've
Because
been going.
you've got no pictures. That's all.
They've been going pretty good. What app are you on?
The NRL. NRL
Oh,
up now.
it was no good. I've just gone onto the website. Look, oh yeah, they don't have pictures. You're right. Look, Tamika Upton, she's really really good. Caitlin Moran's come back from a bit of time off. Jessie Southwell, she's a really good young up and comer. Their forward pack's pretty good. To be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the Dragons for the most part, apart from a few. I do know that Bobby Law's playing against the Knights, her old team. I think the Knights will get it done comfortably, which is going to be a shame for me. Third game, Broncos Roosters. A little bit of change for these two teams, but these two teams are the bigger clubs, so they keep a lot of their good players. Your Jess Surgises, your Isabel Kellys, they're not going to leave the Roosters. I don't really know which way this one's going to go.
And Millie Boyle's a big addition.
Millie Boyle coming in, yes. I'm thinking that probably the Roosters get it done over the Bronx.
Yeah, look a bit too much class, don't they?
Yeah, it's going to be up at the Sunshine Coast, so it'll be.
No, it's standalone.
No,
Night,
it'll be standalone because it's at the night. Yep. I think the Roosters get it done. Next game, Eels Tigers out at CommBank, so it's another standalone at midday. The Eels are pretty good, man. The Eels are a pretty good side. I sent you that thing. Shout out to the fullback of the Eels, Abby Church, that didn't get named in the NRL post
top 30.
Top 30 the other day. They've obviously fixed that. She's named for this week. The Tigers didn't look too good in the trial. I don't know if you saw the score, but it was very much what the men's team gets beaten by every week.
Yeah. The women could probably beat the men.
I reckon Kezi Apps would probably run over a few of the Tigers boys.
I'll run over, mate.
The Eels are going to have a field day. It's going to be a training run for them. And it's going to be a good opportunity for their halves to get used to each other. Their new halves, Rachel Pearson from the Dragons, and I'm not sure where Berryman Duff has come from. I think she might have come up from some lower grades. Yeah, they're going to have a field day though. My tip would be Abby Church to score a try. There's one for you. Get on her. She scored a few last year. The last game is your Sharky team, and to be honest, mate, I think your Sharky team could probably beat the boys too.
100%. I reckon they'll probably win a premiership before the boys do.
I think they might. To be honest, if there's any new team that can win, it is these Sharkies. They look good, man.
We should have had a team from the start.
It's absurd that you didn't. They were the best. They were the best Harvey Norman team, and they didn't get a start in the NRL.
The Cronulla Sharks were very much pioneer in starting women's football.
Absolutely.
Through obviously, going through the Harvey Norman Cup, the Ron Massey sort of thing. And the good thing is, Cronulla said when they got denied, they said, "Rightio, we're not going to let the women just keep playing for us in like the Harvey Norman League. We'll let them go out play the NRL." And I think a couple of them have actually come back and said, "Look, you guys did that for us. We'll come back."
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of them went to the Dragons to start with, and maybe the Roosters, and they have come back. The likes of Tiani Penatani, the likes of who else?
Jada Taylor coming from she was a Dragon.
Charlie Holmes, Quincy Dodd. Those players have come back, mate. They're going to be pretty good. Jada Taylor, she's only young. She's good. She's very good.
But you got a good side when you got Maddie Stutton, named the 20 jersey. But, she was pretty good. Sort of going a year or two ago, and
she was, as you're saying, she was one of the sort of she was pioneer is the exact word I was looking for. She brought women's footy sort of.
Her
She brought it up.
Sims, they were very much.
Yeah. So yeah, if you've got enough quality to put her on the bench, she's
not even the bench, mate.
Well, yeah, just in the reserves. Yeah, you're right. I think the Canberra team not too bad. They've jagged a few players. Shakai Tungai, Sahara Tamara. They got Madison Bartlett from the Dragons. They got a few players that have been. Tamima Taufa in lock. She's pretty good.
I was going to say, yeah, she looked.
I think she played Origin. Taufa. Look, they got a couple of quality players, but I think these Sharks teams. I really hope they win this first game because they could be the real deal.
Mate, that's before the men's. It's a big day out at Shark Park. The gates open
it will be too.
So so at 11 o'clock they've got the New South Wales Cup, Newtown Jets versus I think it's Blacktown or I think it's Blacktown Workers. I think that's the Manly feeder club.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
And then this they got Samantha J performing at 1 o'clock.
And you're going to play golf? Are you joking?
Mate, I got my mum and dad free tickets, and I didn't even get a ticket myself.
Ross and Karen are going out.
Yes.
Mate, I'm free on Sunday. Did you get me a ticket?
Mate, I can try and get you a ticket if you want.
That'd be a great little day. The kids.
And then, then the women playing at 1:50, and then the men playing at 4 o'clock.
I tell you what, that's you just talking about New South Wales Cup into the NRLW, into the NRL. That's what we need every weekend.
I loved when you could watch the New South Wales Cup rolling into the.
Going back when me and Dad become members of the Dragons, that's what we used to do. We make sure we get down early. We'd at least see the second half because some of the games are Thursdays and Fridays. But we'd see the second half of the New South Wales Cup. There wasn't that many people around. And then you'd watch the game. And, it was just nice. You get to watch 2 games of footy, especially on a Saturday or Sunday arvo, 2 games of footy. And getting rid of that was the worst thing ever. But, mate, that's very good from the organisers and from the Sharks to jag that on a Sunday.
We're good at everything else except playing football.
Providing an experience, though, that's what it's all about.
They do it very good, and they've got around the women's team because obviously they were so excited when we got it going. Finally, we've got this team that we deserve. Even the boys, some of the boys have been helping out the girls in different positions. I know Nico's been helping with Emma Tomagato, how she moved from fullback to 5'8".
Well, Nico's done that too. He's done that.
Yeah,
sort of transition.
I know. Unfortunately, Wade Graham's been helping out. Wouldn't take too much advice from him.
You know what? Wade's free on Sunday afternoon too, so he might be able to put the yellow shirt on.
And I know Ange Fafita, he's been helping a lot with he's one of the welfare.
Oh yeah,
welfare people there. So I know he's been very much vocal in there. So it'd be good. Hopefully the women can start off the first inaugural game for Sharkies with a big win.
I like that. Look, and again, I'm going to say it again. I'm tipping them to take it out. I'm tipping them to win the comp.
I'm going to tip Parramatta to win the comp, but just because it's the first season, don't want to go too ahead of myself. I do that all the time with my team.
I'll be replaying this on the socials when they do win, and then the fact that you didn't back them. So there you go.
Yeah.
Mate, we're going good here. We're well over time. Do you want to touch on the Ashes?
Yeah, I'm just loading. The Aussies are 2 for 79. So both openers are gone. Warner got 32.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
Osman got 3. So
that's not good enough.
Yeah, he can get a slide because he's done very good this season, but Marnus on 24 and Steve Smith on 11. So these two boys need a big score. Hopefully they can get to lunch. Maybe two for 200 or something like that, depending.
Marnus and Smith, you would imagine they can settle in.
Yeah, I do have two stats for this test. England have not beaten Australia in Manchester, where they are playing, since 1981. So we haven't lost
in 40 years.
Lost to them. So in 1942.
Yeah, nice.
42. And Steve Smith averages 100.25 at this group.
Come on, Stevie.
So
that's pretty good.
And obviously, Australia only need a draw to retain the Ashes as well.
We'd like a win, though. We'd like a win.
Well, there is a very heavy forecast of rain. So if we do start to go shit,
yeah,
bring the rain in, and I'll take a draw. I'd like a win.
Know. That's the biggest problem with Test cricket,
especially in England. Sort of. But yeah.
Well, look, we would just take the draw, wouldn't we?
Definitely. We haven't won in, I think, since 2001 over there. So I'll definitely take an Ashes win. Get them pommies crying. It'll be good.
Oh, there'll be some excuse from the Whinge and Poms.
100%. It will go back to the Bairstow thing. And then also just before we head off, obviously Bade's still holding the 3-point lead in the tipping comp on 99 points. So I think a lot of people might raise the bat this week. Hopefully me, you, Shane, Bades.
I think I can get a full round this week. I might even use my joker. You've heard it here first.
That's big. It's going to have to happen soon. You don't want to leave it too late.
That's exactly right. So
yeah, and also in breaking news, mate, Supercoach, we have a new leader.
Mitchell.
We have a new leader. Mitchell has taken the lead over Damo, and he's winning by exactly 100 points.
100? He was 100 behind.
He was 100 behind. So yeah, Damo unfortunately had 1,100 last week.
Really? What did Mitchell at? 13?
13, yeah.
Mate, I couldn't even crack 1,000. Nice, Mitch. Well done.
So,
that shakes it up. Shout out Damo. Mate, you're going to have to lift these last couple of rounds.
Been talking to him during a week, mate. And
have you?
Yeah, he's got a good team, but
they just didn't perform.
Didn't go his way last week. Unfortunately.
Mate, if you need some advice, just send me a message, buddy. I've got some trades coming in this week.
Definitely. But yeah, other than that, mate, I think we're pretty much done.
That's it. I got nothing left to give.
I've got nothing left to give as well, mate.
Keep doing what you're doing, battlers, and we'll talk to you soon. Go the Aussies. Go Cam. Go the Sharkies.
And go the Australian cricket.
Oh, I said the Aussies. All round the Aussies.
Fair enough.
All right. See you, battlers.
See you next week.